7.
Wow!
9.
How does he do this?
Deuce of spades, probably.
Deuce of spades.
Folded around to Grinder in the big blind.
Oh, Michael. You know, I once saw Michael play a hand with a deuce and a SIM card.
He calls, heads up to the flop.
So you never
I
fold.
never fold. Especially to you, no.
It's not personal.
Mizrachi pairs his 5, 2 pair for Koplimar.
Now, Coplin was really hoping you never fold.
Grinder checks to the Estonian, who's continuing for 3,600.
So far, so good for this kid.
There's the call from Grinder. Oh, Grinder improves to 2 pair, but he's still a 9-1 dog.
Best turn ever for Koplima.
Grinder now leads for 8,000.
I kind of like a raise here. The problem is he probably knows Grinder led with a set before, so maybe he doesn't want to get too nuts.
He just calls. The river. Here's another 8. Grinder rivers a boat.
This is beyond hilarious. How does he do this? Also, how does he not win every tournament? And you still love him.
He bombs it.
Really?
More than 30K.
You have it?
As long as you don't got it, then I got it.
Not to rep.
Huh?
6-7. I'm 6-7. I'm not folded yet.
You will.
So he wanted me to call.
No, I want you to raise. Look how confident I look.
You always have a nuts when you bet big.
I know.
Always. Almost always. Maybe not this time.
No, he does.
Good fold.
Nice bet.
You want to see it? I don't know if you want to see it. All right, you don't want to see it. It's pretty ugly.
And for the second time today, Koplimar gets grinded. And Michael Mizrachi is under the gun with pocket 4s. He raises to 2,600.
Grinder, having gone through the motion of looking at his cards, raises.
Action folded around to Andoni Larabe, who's got 10s.
7.
He's 3-betting.
Lol, if he thinks Grinder folds to 3-bets. Also, he's got a 3-bet bigger. You gotta punish the guy who always calls the 3-bets.
Castrillon in the cutoff. Folds. It's Koplimar's button. He passes. Post and Plesuv give up the blinds.
Michael never passes.
It's so cute how he's talking European.
Grinder calls. Heads up to the flop, which sees Grinder flop a set.
And he's gonna lead. I love Grinder.
And he leads really small.
Not only is this bet out of flow, but it's also for fewer chips than your girlfriend steals off your plate when she says she doesn't want to order her own. You know they do that.
85.
Larabe raises.
I only like this raise if you're prepared to get it in when Grinder blasts off, because you can only be hoping he tries to bluff you with worse.
I don't believe that face.
There's a 3-bet to nearly 16K.
Something you did over here, I thought you were bluffing. Careful.
I don't think his English is good enough to realize what a ridiculous shtick this is.
All in. Call.
Well, that escalated quickly.
That was like out of a movie and not a very good one.
Larabe at risk. And way behind.
The worst part is you knew you shouldn't have done it, and you done it anyway.
7.
Wow.
I'm not saying nothing else. You got a lot.
10 outs for Larabe. A jack 10 or 6 saves him. It's a jack.
Oh, what a waste of a perfectly terrible acting job. Like Samuel Jackson in The Phantom Menace.
Grinder raises with King 8 suited.
Grinder never saw 2 cards he didn't like.
Davide Katai with 9-10 of spades.
Katai's almost as much a wild card as Grinder. He just takes longer to do it.
He calls. Action now on Sam Phillips from the USA. And he calls from the hijack with ace-jack.
Sam could have probably just jammed there. Ace-jack doesn't flop super well, and there's tons of chips out there already.
Jack 4 for Steven Castrillon. He folds the small blind.
You want to go all in?
Tempting, tempting.
Grinder would have called.
Marco Koplimar has queens in the big blind.
Oh boy. No time for love, Dr. Jones.
He's re-raising. It's a 3-bet to 10,200.
This should look pretty strong into 3 opponents. Really doesn't look very squeezy at all. Also, it's really small.
Grinder calls.
In general, I'd say this isn't recommended, but Grinder's got a style all his own. Kind of like being a one-liner comic. It makes you groan, but it works for him.
Katai folds. And Phillips also passes.
Just one fish.
One fish, one overcard.
Heads up to the flop, which sees Grinder pair is 8. Koplimar still way ahead with queens.
Well, good job getting Sam Phillips to fold.
A C-bet of 8,500.
So if Grinder was calling with King 8 pre-flop, what do we think he's going to do with second pair, second kicker on the flop?
He calls.
By the way, I'm not sure C-bet's always mandatory there. Against Grinder, maybe.
The turn card. It's a king. Grinder now with 2 pair and a 95% favorite.
Must be nice, buddy. What's it like? What's it like to just always get there?
16-5.
Koplimar betting again.
All in.
Grinder shoves.
Not so sure about Koplimar's bet. I don't know what he thinks he's going to get called with twice that he's ahead of. Some people like to play small ball. Some people like to play big ball. Grinder is a big ball.
Koplimar folds.
Grinder looking for a hero call from a single ace.
Blinds are up to 800, 1600, and we are going to pit our wits against Grinder. We're going to play a hand from the perspective of Pavel Plesuv. He's raised with ace-10, and it looks like Grinder is 3-betting.
I don't want to play against Grinder. If I did, I would actually play poker.
The blinds are folded. Back around to Plesuv.
You're never folding here, right?
Not against you. Against a lot of other people, maybe. I like a just call here, even though we're out of position. If Mike's got a bad hand, we want to let him hang himself.
Plesuv does call. The flop is king 4 deuce, rainbow. Plesuv checks.
I think we have to check call since Mike can have any two. I honestly don't know what to do, though. If he bets every street, we don't improve. That's the danger here.
Grinder's C-bet is 5,100. And there's the call from Plesuv.
And we might have to call all the way now.
9.
How does he do this?
What is he doing?
Plesuv checks a second time.
Like I said, I think we have to check call again, but I really hope he doesn't bet that much.
Not too bad. 8,200.
Right, and now that has me suspicious. I like calling again here just because Mike's such a wild card and will always bet when he's got nothing and sometimes not bet when he's got something.
Plesuv folds.
It's harder to play somebody they call cards, right? Of course. Yeah, it's harder to play against somebody like that.
Grinder had ace-7. Plesuv had the best hand.
Oh, man.
Do you reckon Grinder's folding?
Nope. I once saw Grinder try to raise with 2 sub-sandwich loyalty cards from under the gun.
5-3 of clubs. He makes it 3,300. Pocket 8 for Francisco Perez. He's got just over 20 big blinds.
Shove seems fine, especially over the top of Grinder.
He's all in. And he's walked into aces.
How much?
Larabe just asked how much, but what he's really thinking about is Vegas and the bleeping Mirage.
He calls.
Really hoping Grinder comes along for the ride.
Koplimar in the big blind. Folds.
Will we finally see Grinder fold? Yes!
So Perez at risk and way behind his fellow countrymen.
It's amazing. Even though Grinder folded, he still found a way to get Perez busted, probably.
I had the best hand.
Maybe after the river.
Big favor. I'm big favor to win. Big favor now. 3-5 of clubs. For sure it's coming.
I wish I could say I disagree.
Perez needs an 8. The turn card is a 3.
I told you. 100%. River deuce. I saw it. God. Deuce of spades, probably. Deuce of spades.
This is absolutely Rishnefulous. What is happening out there? It's Mike, this psychic Mizrachi.
Told you. Deuce of spades.